So now what we're going to talk about is model version parameters. And these are parameters, again, that are going to go at the end of your written prompt as minus minus. And what these do is these different models excel at different types of art. So if we look and see our different ones that we have available today, we have Ninja, and this one excels at anime style, HD, which is an algorithm that is more suitable for abstract and landscape images. And then we have minus minus test, which is going to give you just a very standard, very average style of photo. And then we have test P. This is my personal favorite because this allows you to get extremely photorealistic looking images. So using this one for portraits or just any kind of scenario where you want something to look real, this is the parameter to use. So let's go ahead and test a few of these out and see what kind of results we get. So we're going to keep these prompts simple so that we can focus on how these models are affecting the final output. So let's say colored geometric cube that is sitting on a desk. And we're going to go to our first parameter. Going to do our next parameter. And let's do test and test P. And while these are loading, another thing I wanted to add, you can do this same thing and go back on versions. Currently, Midjourney is on version number 4, which is the newest version. If you'd like to, you can go back to V1, V2, or V3. I, of course, would recommend staying on the current algorithm because as I've been using this compared to version 3 that I was very used to, the differences are extremely dramatic. Perfect, so we have our different outputs. So we have our Ninja, I honestly don't know how to pronounce this, but this is the more anime style. And you can see I didn't add anything about glowing, LED lights, neon, but it just naturally added that style into the prompt, or into the output rather. Then we have our test, which is our more standard. This didn't get super creative and it kept it pretty simple and did a pretty dang good job of getting a colored cube onto a desk. And then we have our third example, which is the test P. And I'm a little bit surprised. Generally, this one does the most realistic version of what you type in. So what I want to do is one more quick example that's a little bit less abstract and a little bit more real world of a scenario to see one more example of this example. One more example of using these model parameters. So let's do a little bit more of a realistic prompt. So New York skyline at sunset. And we'll do test P first. And we'll compare that to the anime output. So here we have our two final examples. And by the way, when you use test P, this uses more processing power because Midjourney is working to make things more anatomically accurate and making things more highly detailed. So you're never going to get 4 example images with test P. You're always going to get 2. When you use something like this model parameter, Ninja, if I'm saying it right, you're going to get 4. So this is our coloring style for this. Still looks relatively realistic, but a lot more dreamy, not something that you would see in real life, but the test P is a lot more accurate to what you would see with the naked eye. So I'd recommend experimenting with these different model parameters so that you can get the specific look you're going for.